Hi guys, so we're going to go ahead and move into how to complete an EPCR for us. First off, we want to make sure, like we talked about, the crew, the unit are set up, and we're going to go ahead and open it up. So instead of clicking this new incident large button, we have a special form which is under other forms. This drop down will get you to HBMS medical aid. That is the one we will be using. Click on that. This is a special form that was created for us. It's an expedited and condensed form of EPCR and is really kind of what we found is the bare bones of what we're going to need to document effectively. So I'll go ahead and navigate through this entire document here and give you kind of an idea of what we're looking for. But first off, I'll just set this forth. This will be an example of what it looks like to do a report for like a Stingray. Anything that's being dispatched from our dispatch center or something that we come upon in the field. The Metronet page will be something that we talk about down the road. So the most important thing is to identify that the incident number is something we will be needing to get, and that is going to be from Watchtower. So you could either do this at the beginning of the report or at the end, but we're going to have to navigate to Watchtower on the iPad. If you can go ahead and double click the home button, that's going to allow all the applications that you're using to come in onto the screen. I'm going to go ahead and just go straight over to Watchtower by selecting it on my desktop, but by doing that you can quickly access Watchtower. And then if you go to the Explorer tab, this is going to open up the most recent incidents that have been either dispatched or self-submitted. So if you do come onto this and you have to self-submit, that's another step you'll have to go through briefly, as well as getting over to the Explorer page and getting the incident number. For me, I have to double click on the iPads. You press and hold, that'll give you the option to copy. And then for me, what I've found is that if you double click the home button and then get back over to Elite Field or the EPCR, that's the best way, because if you press the home button and then re-select the icon, it will force you to log in again from the beginning. So that gets a bit annoying. This is an easier way to get access straight back into EPCR. From there, we can paste that run number or incident number into the correct location. I'll also say that I found that there's kind of depends on the situation. If you want to go ahead and document on the iPad during the call, it's up to you. But I've also found that something that's maybe a little bit more acute, or I'm not super comfortable with the iPad yet, also use our field reports to get the patient's name, last name, age, and zip code. Throw down whatever other information I want, and then I can come back and then just open this and report all this information into the EPCR later. We'll find kind of what works for each person, but I'll go ahead through the example if I was on scene with this patient. So we'll go ahead and say this is a Stingray call. So if I want to, and then this is happening kind of live, I can click this clock button. This will give me the current time and date. So that'll be the arrival on at patient. Street address or incident, I'm just going to go ahead and put Tower 20. Patient's complaint, minor Stingray to Stingray, so Stingray wound to left foot. Duration of complaint, so how long have they been in pain? 5. And asks you for kind of the units there, so 5 minutes. Okay. And then this is what we're going to select. There's a variety of different values that you could select from, but really what is the issue? So I found that if I just type in sting, that'll get me to this, and that's what we're going to be using for Stingrays. Another one that we're going to be using a lot is type in abrasions. This is a really broad one: lacerations, abrasions, hematoma, or minor surface traumas. So look through those, get familiar with all the different potentials that we could be using, but I anticipate that these two are the ones we'll be using most. So I'm using the animal insect snakes / bite stings. First name, this person's name is Bob Roberts. The age here, you can use this, which is nice on the iPads, 28. Zip code 92611 for. We got a male. And then the narrative. The narrative is probably one of the most important parts of this entire document. This is where we're going to be putting most of the information of what we did. One thing that's really cool about the iPads is that there is an audio recording or a speak to talk. I think this is going to be something that we find is very valuable. And what we're looking for is, like we do with any of the field reports, just to give a rundown of what you performed. Something with a Stingray could be very simple: perform primary and secondary assessment, provided hot water and transported patient back to personal vehicle, and then advised to see doctor. That's the really important part. We do not have an advised to see doctor section on this where we can just select. So I encourage all of us to put that like we would on any of our field reports. So just be thorough, and it's cool. The push to talk is going to be something that I think is very valuable and that we're going to be able to use to expedite this whole process. And then this is another important part. The last thing is we have to put the current crew. So that's who I selected, and I'll be at the very top there because that's what I put in at the beginning there to log in. That gives an indication to who wrote the report. On the right hand side here, you guys will also see that there are some additional kind of shortcuts. So I can get to that primary, and I can go through AVPU. If I have time, if I get some vitals, I could also throw in some more information there. This is kind of the bonus section. It's not a requirement that we're expecting anyone to do, but if it's a more acute call, then yeah, that'd be great. So finally, posting. This yellow/orange post button, you're going to click on that when you're done. When you feel like you're comfortable and ready to submit this, you can select the finish, and that's going to be ready to post. You post that, and it'll go off to the spot where administrators who are reviewing the reports can take a look at it. If you are not ready to post, you can save, and quite frankly, I've noticed that even if you don't save but you started on something, you could press close as well, or if you get logged out, a lot of this is going to all save, or really all of it's going to save in this home section here. So it'll keep the incident number, give you the location. If you want to get back to it, you could just click this arrow here. And I've found that when I was practicing quite a bit, there were quite a few of these kind of practice calls filling up this entire section of the home. So if you want to get rid of them, you can click it, it'll turn black, and you can press delete. So in total, that's kind of the bare bones of how to get a report going. I hope this is informational or informative, that is. If you have any questions, please reach out. Yeah, excited to see this get into work. All right. Have a great day, guys.